I'm assuming so too. And I'll give her the recording as well. So Cameron, I did unmute you, but I don't have a microphone hooked up right now. So any questions? As well as everyone else. All right. I'm going to start recording the meeting now, and then we are live on YouTube. Thank you, everyone. And
Okay, should we go ahead and call the meeting to order then?
yeah, let me just get the presentation up. Oh, there's Barb. Add Barb.
Morning.
Hi, Barb.
Hi, sorry I was late. WebEx.
No worries.
Which computer do I have WebEx on?
Yeah, I know. There's always something.
Ready to roll now.
Okay, I'm going to start sharing. And if I can get it on full screen and still see all of my other things that I need to look at. But okay, let's go ahead. And if you guys see anything in the chat, would you let me know, because I'm not able to see that at the same time as I'm sharing. That just help.
Okay.
And when we tell, I'll bring him in there as well.
Yeah, I've got the chat window open, so I'll check.
Thanks so much, everyone, for helping out with this. Okay, Justin, go for it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Do you have a slide for introductions or?
Here we are.
Okay. So Justin Livingston, City of Bend, and Tony's not here yet. Bob Townsend.
Bob Chris Doty on.
No.
Barb.
Oh, go ahead.
Campbell, Bend City Council.
There we go. Chris.
Right here, Bend City Council.
Tyler. Oh, Tyler's here, I know.
I see him.
Yep. Is Andrea with us? Napoli?
No,
on
not
here
today.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Hobie's here.
Hobie Anderson.
And do you want to introduce others that you see on the call?
Yep, I'll just list off. We have Andrea Bro from Cameron Prow, Typewrite 2, Take Notes, David Abbas, Rick Williams from ODOT. And I think that's everybody. Anyone
Chris
else?
Doty.
That's it.
Chris Doty, Deschutes County here.
Sorry.
And for the record, Chris will be filling in for Tony, be voting for Tony until Tony arrives.
All right, let's hurry up.
Okay, let's see if we can get them done before. All right. So I'll just go over some virtual meeting guidelines. I feel like this group's pretty good, but for the record, we're taking notes. We're recording this meeting for note-taking purposes. This meeting is also live streamed through YouTube. We'll ask you to put yourself on mute whenever you can. For technical difficulties, please use the chat function. And raise hand function is under participant. If you would like to interject in any time, that'll give us a time to have a good break so you can talk. On the phone, you always use *3 to raise your hand and *3 again to put it back down. If there's any questions throughout the meeting, please let any of us know. All right, next.
All right, public comment. I don't see any public, but is there any comments? Seeing none, we'll just move on to item number 4, the 2021-2024 Metropolitan Transportation Improvement Program Amendment. Jovi.
Yeah, So this is a full amendment to the statewide transportation improvement program as well as the metropolitan transportation improvement program. The project is US 20 at Ward Road intersection. It's right now a two-way stop on the highway, and it's going to be a roundabout. So the changes are to advance right-of-way and construction. Construction would be done in 2021. So this next year coming up, and we're at the amendment is to add $994,000 from ODOT's Region 4 finance plan.
Toby,
And
can you
then-
advance to the next slide?
Yeah. So
Just
this is
FYI,
kind of
Tony's
a
on.
detail. On? Okay, thank you. I'll make sure.
He's
I
coming
get
on
it.
pretty soon.
All right. See if I can get to that panel.
I thought it was going to be important there for a minute. Let's turn off my camera now.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Chris, for standing in for the important people. But maybe Bob Townsend, if you could talk about this project for a moment, I'll get Tony on at the same time.
Yeah, so this is our highest priority safety project in the region. I think we've mentioned before of all the intersections from the Columbia River to Klamath Falls, and we were fortunate enough it meets ARTS standards, which is our All Roads Transportation Safety Program, a federal safety program that measures intersection improvements or other safety improvements based on a cost-benefit ratio, and certainly this one exceeds the requirements of that. And I think we've all, been aware of the recent fatal crashes over the last couple of years. And just to talk a little bit about what the change is here is it's an increase in funding for the construction phase of the roundabout. Just so process a little while, this goes through an internal process up to the director's office in ODOT when it's this amount of money, and they approve it. We have tentative approval from FHWA, but protocol also requires the MPO to approve once all those other approvals are done. The main reason for the cost increase is, and you can kind of see it in this drawing, we always anticipated shifting the roundabout to the northwest quadrant a little bit, just like when the city or the county does roundabouts. It's always helpful to move them off the alignment a little bit because it facilitates construction. The problem here is, and you can't really see it on the drawing, is there's a power transmission line heading north and south on Ward and Hamby that is significant in size. And we thought we could relocate a couple of the poles, but the reality is the poles are so large and the fabrication timeframe is so behind now, and COVID certainly hasn't impacted that. But to move them, it would take 12 to 18 months just to get the poles fabricated and the line moved. Well, we can't afford to wait that long with the number of incidents we've had out there. And then even with that, the cost of acquiring those may be are extensive enough anyway that the workaround is to shift this a little farther to the northwest so the poles remain in place, and that if you see the actual details of the drawing, you can see how they're facilitated in little gore areas everywhere so that the roundabout fits just around them. And so really that's the main reason. This requires a lot more pavement since we're not able to use the old roadway at all. Some of the cost increase too is through our conversations with our mobility advisory group on a statewide level. We're still having difficulty getting the roundabout approved, but and we've increased the size a little bit to ensure that we can facilitate all their movements. So that's a little bit reason for the cost increase too, but mostly it's around just shifting it farther than we anticipated to avoid these utility conflicts and a potential delay to 2022, which is something we absolutely don't want.
Any questions or comments for Bob? Bob, I appreciate you kind of touching on. Sorry, does somebody else have a?
Tony DeBone here, just acknowledging I joined the meeting maybe
Okay,
about halfway
thanks,
through
Tony.
his presentation.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you touching on the budget. Yeah, when I looked at it, I thought, wow, that's a pretty, that seems expensive for a roundabout. But then when I saw the drawing, the footprint size seems pretty large, and the one line item, of course, that's where I have most reference to, but the right-of-way acquisition seemed pretty high, especially for what's mostly exclusive farm use or MUA 10 lands. So are all those numbers pretty well ironed out? Have you had negotiations, or is that kind of a rough estimate, like we have up to that kind of dollar amount, for like right-of-way acquisition?
We're just now completing appraisals, so we feel pretty good about the numbers. And of course, when we have to do these requests, we always make sure we're requesting on the upper limit because we don't want to go back again. We certainly have the potential for some cost savings here or there. We're working out in our negotiations with the property owners, for example, like, what if we improve your access over here, and then it makes this piece of the property a little more value. You see how we're not utilizing the old roadway. We may give that back to the property owners to help our negotiation. So yeah, certainly there's things like that. I mean, this roundabout is a little more expensive than we would like to pay for a rural roundabout. But there are some unique circumstances out here around Highway 20, especially east of Bend, is looked at a major freight route, even though it's not. People go to Prineville, Milliken Road, and that's how we bypass this area, but it's that fine line. So certainly the footprint is larger than we originally anticipated. But yeah, most of those numbers now are pretty firm.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Barb, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Would you go back to that first slide? Well, not that one. I'm sorry. By the first slide, I mean that one. Well, there we go. How much is the total cost, Bob, for that roundabout?
The total cost, now let me grab my notes.
There we go.
It's 5.4 million, includes all design, right-of-way, utilities, and construction.
Okay. And then this is an embarrassing question to ask. The ODOT Region 4 finance plan. So we are authorizing money from the ODOT finance plan.
Yeah, or the way our funding protocols work is we have, I don't want to say it's a slush fund, but we have, when a project goes to bid, if there's funding left over for the region, like we get statewide pavement dollars, we pave the project. If there's a little bit of money left, it comes back to Region 4, and we have some discretionary rights to how we spend it. Generally, it has to be spent on the same color of money as it came into. And so we had safety projects over the last 5 years that had some savings on them. And so we're using that safety funds from our Region 4 finance plan to pay for this increase.
Okay. And so what we are being asked to do is just amend our plan.
That's correct. I mean, this always becomes awkward, right? Like it looks like you're approving where the money comes from. And
right. That's
really
thank you, Bob. That's my question.
Adopting the transportation plan to include these additional, and this only happens within MPO boundaries. Generally, our protocol, if this was, another mile to the east, would be we would just approve it internally and we'd be proceeding. And so certainly I don't want to discount the value of this group on these type of things, but it is an awkward approval process for sure.
Thank you very much. That was exactly what was confusing me.
Yeah, and I think another way to state it, maybe, is, correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but we're more acknowledging where the funds are coming from to construct this.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, and our goal too is, and this one's a little awkward about funding, but we provided updates on the Ward Hamby because it's an important project in the MPO, and so certainly wanting to tie back around and be transparent on the funding, we would want to do this regardless of the approval process either.
Okay. I will just say that this is the second time the MPO has had a special meeting regarding that intersection, And you know that 3 of us went down to Sun River to advocate for this intersection. So I think I speak for all of us when I say, yay, it's moving along. Here's the next step. Happy to get up on a Friday morning for this. It's really, as you said, people are losing their lives out there. It's really a dangerous thing right now. Great.
Is there any more presentation, or are we looking for a motion?
We are just looking for a
Got it.
motion at this point.
I
Looking for a
move
motion.
approval of the proposed amendment to the 2021-2024 MTIP as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion?
This is Commissioner DeBone. So one of the concepts I can see is that when we adopt it in the MTIP, then this kind of rolls up to how the money is spent for reporting purposes at the state and the federal level. So that's one of the values of putting it in this document, is so people can follow those dollars also.
Great.
Yeah. Good comment, Tony. Anybody else?
Thank you. So for the record, because Cameron, I don't think, has a microphone, I just wanted to reiterate, Chris Piper seconded the motion. Barb was the one who started the motion.
Yes, that's correct. And I'll just say real quickly, this is a critical safety intersection. We obviously know, there's been multiple fatalities the last few years. And so anything we can do to move this up, I'm really excited that we're moving this construction up and getting this completed sooner than later. So with that said, all those in favor, you just do a hand raise. Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Any other business?
Everyone.
No, we don't have any staff level business.
Okay. Well, it looks like our next meeting will be December 15th, 2020 at noon. So I will see you all then. Barb, you want to take us out with a...
Move to adjourn.
Great. We are adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a
Thank
safe
you all.
Thank you.
Take care out there.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks, everyone.
for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.